All right, first up on the show, BeyondSeed has received approval from SEBI to raise funds domestically. They're currently in the market and engaged with discussions with potential investors looking at an initial fund of approximately 50 crores. We've got Kuldeep Mirani. He's a co-founder and CEO. Thank you so much for taking time out. So I understand that this is a fund that you guys are looking at for fueling the growth of a lot of early stage startups across the country. Tell us more.
Yeah, sure. Firstly, thanks, Avnne, for having me on the show. It's a great pleasure. Regarding the fund, it's our first foray into India. BeyondSeed is not just a capital provider to startups at an early stage, but we also help the startups with all of our growth engines to come together for a speedier success. This fund, and we are very happy for getting that approval from SEBI. It's a fund which would invest into startups in India at an early stage and help them grow faster.
So what is going to be the minimum investment that you make, and what is going to be the average check size that you're looking at?
Avnne, this is just our first fund in India. So it's a smallish start for a much longer journey. It's a 50 crore fund. And we are looking to back at least a minimum of 25 startups with this first fund. And an average check size would be in the range of 1.5 crore per investment. The focus is going to be on founders who have already gone through that entire hustle of 0 to 1. They are already doing some revenue. They have built up a scalable and a sustainable model addressing to a problem which is real. We just aim to help them with their next phase of growth.
So I understand that it's not just capital, but there's going to be guidance and resources, and you guys are looking to become the cornerstone for early stage startups in the country. How exactly are you going to work through that?
So we have this entire growth engine built around our investments. We go by the different functionalities offered to the startups. We believe truly that it's not just capital which can help the startup to scale faster. So we've launched services around marketing, distribution, services, people, and their future capital raises. As we become capital providers, along with these different growth engines, we also come together with a large pool of mentors which we have. And typically linking 1 or 2 mentors to each startup and bringing that entire ecosystem together to help the startup scale.
And you're also looking at an expansion in the Middle East. Tell us a little bit more about expanding the global footprint.
That's right. So we aim to be one of the larger ecosystem players in Asia and Middle East. So after our launch of our fund in the last week of July in Mumbai, and by the way, the response has been amazing. It's not going to be too late before we launch our second fund in India itself. But before that, we believe to have our presence in Middle East. The idea is to connect these 3 different countries, or I would say regions, India, Middle East, and Southeast Asia, operating from Singapore. That will just not help investors from different parts of these regions to invest into India, but it will also help the startups from India to reach out to different parts of the world where they can not only just get investors from, but also expand their distribution of products and services. So in Middle East, we're planning a launch definitely in September or October of this year.
And what about your outlook on the portfolio companies? How have they fared so far?
It's a new fund for us for India. So we haven't yet invested starting from India, but we have done our investments from Singapore, and we've had some great companies in consumer space and tech space. It's an agnostic investment vehicle per se, but our focus is always to back founders which has the right attitude, and they have built certain companies for scale.
All right, thanks so much for joining in. We'll take a very quick break and be right back.